Hello everyone, this is DZ3, and welcome to my commentary test video. I'll be conducting two tests here. First, I'll be doing post-commentary over one of my existing challenge videos, namely, Zero Storms the Missile Factory. This style of commentary is what you can expect on my upcoming Gumvolt 2 EX Stages project. The second test will involve live commentary. I'll demonstrate some shield boomerang loop manipulation while playing the game. I don't currently intend on creating videos in this fashion, but I figured I'd test it out anyway. With that sorted, here's the Missile Factory run. The stage may be short, but it's absolutely packed with harrowing jumps. Thankfully, the worst of the bunch is at the start. Sneaking Zero between the generator cannon and the low ceiling is a very demanding task. The vast majority of my failures occurred there. This 2-for-1 kill is immensely satisfying. I'll never get tired of watching heavy cannons get eviscerated by Soul Launcher. Firing Soul Launcher at a ceiling has the benefit of forcing the projectiles to descend quickly without spreading out, creating a makeshift barrier that protects Zero from oncoming weaklings. Another lovely bit of tech used in this run is precisely pogoing off an enemy in such a way that it launches forward instead of getting stuck in place. Aside from clearing paths within narrow hallways, any extra kills gleaned in this manner reduces the need to farm elsewhere. For comparison's sake, let's give the generator cannon jump a 10 out of 10 on the difficulty scale. The issue with cleanly navigating the missile's interior is that every single movement registers an 8.5 on that same scale. It's disturbingly easy to fumble a run here. The recoil rod's non-pogo attacks fix Zero in place unless they're used in the air, so any misplaced inputs instantly end the run. I've also got to give special mention to the final winding sprint to outrace a shot counter's bullet. It takes a lot of practice to avoid getting hit by it. The consequence of all those low percentage maneuvers is that the intensity of an otherwise innocuous boss is magnified tremendously. It's impressive for a stage with such a quick runtime to imbue such a strong sense of adrenaline. Despite my nerves, I practiced enough to execute my game plan flawlessly. As you saw, I opened the fight with an acrobatic pogo routine. Next, I alternate targets with Thousand Slash to deal a bulk of the damage, and finally, I go for a stylish, simultaneous hit on both elves with Soul Launcher as the icing on the cake. That concludes the first test, on to the next. Okay, now for the live commentary portion of this test where I'll be doing some shield boomerang technique demonstrations. Couple things to note before I begin. The microphone is in a slightly different position compared to the post commentary you just heard, so the audio will probably sound different. The next thing is that the controller I'm using is a Vader 4 Pro, which uses mechanical buttons, so if it sounds like I'm clicking a mouse, that's because I essentially am. So establishing a loop with the shield is as easy as throwing it forward, dashing forward, and repeatedly jumping over it like so. The inverse of this is to throw the shield while Zero is airborne, resulting in it traveling downward and establishing a loop on the ground. Now this option is especially good for weaving between boss attacks, because you're given a great deal of freedom to leave this sort of invisible oval. As long as you come back to it on time, the shield's position isn't going to shift all that dramatically. Now the greatest trouble arises when you want to shift the elevation of this orbit after you've already thrown the shield. So going from low to high and from high to low. Now going from low to high isn't that bad. Like so. As you can see, that doesn't take all that much effort, but going from high to low can be very troublesome because it's very dependent on how much space you have to work with, both horizontally and vertically, in relation to the current position of your orbit. So here I'm going to try the dreaded high orbit to low orbit conversion. Jump over it once, dash away, and dash under. That's the basic principle you want to follow if you're trying to convert an orbit and you have a lot of horizontal space. One video I've done this is against Fafnir in 02 for sure. Let's try it again. And there you have it. Now, believe me when I tell you, that has cost me way more attempts than I would ever like to admit on some of my single throw challenges. The last thing I'd like to demonstrate is the delayed dash jump. So in Z1, Z3, and Z4, there's a 3-frame window after pressing jump where you can press dash and still gain dash momentum. In Z2, you can only do this with the frame perfect portion of the trick where you press dash and jump on the same frame. You can also do that here, but it's not necessary. So this can be used to dash jump while holding the shield, like that. very useful for overcoming slippery floors as well. And let me see how many times I can do this in a row. I like to try and hit this 10 times in a row if I'm doing a run where I require this trick, because it really helps build that consistency. And there you have it. So I hope that is useful. Back to the post-commentary version. Alright, that's that. I greatly appreciate any feedback you may have, be it positive or negative. If anything sounds even slightly off, please don't hesitate to leave a comment and let me know. If everything sounds fine, a simple audio's good comment is also valuable. Assuming that everything is fine, I'll begin recording the Gumball 2 scripts and produce the final edits for that project ASAP. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch and listen to this test video, and take care.